Be sure to subscribe to The Kim Jacobs Show right on YouTube. Turn on your notification bell to all so you never miss a beat. And guess what? Every time you watch, you're going to receive a real, relevant, and relatable guest that's going to share with you a piece of the puzzle on this journey called life that will help you be able to manage just a little bit smoother. At the end of the day, the Kim Jacobs Show goal is to be able to provide balance to the world, one household at a time.
You're watching Kim Jacobs Show.
Or he would call, we would check in, and I'd be like, I'm about to go get my midnight snack, even though I don't need to, and so I remember those things. And then so the January we were really close, and I came home and for Christmas break, and I did see him in January, and we continued to have those conversations. And that February, on February 7th, he passed away. And that was on a Friday. And the most beautiful thing that I have from that, of course, death is always hard, and people grieve differently. And I think from my story and my situation, it looked very different. So that week on a Wednesday was the last day I had spoken to him, and we were talking, and of course you always say love you, or love you, I'll talk to you later, or love you, bye, and all those things. But that day was different. That day it was like, I love you.
But where I do most of my talking is on my Facebook page. Anybody can go. It's set for public. I want to talk to everybody. But the thing is, even people that try to disrespect me don't recognize that when I'm not disrespecting them and we're having a conversation going back and forth, whether they know it or not, we're in a relationship.
Yes.
Other people would contact me behind my page. They go, why don't you just unfriend that person? And I remind them, there's 6.5 billion people on this planet, and this person is spending time with me.
That's right.
They could be anywhere else, but they're here with me. So there's something happening that's worthwhile. And what happens too much? There's two ways of going about relating with another person.
Right.
There's what I call the musical way, where you're trying to find a path forward, even if they don't agree with you. Too many people have the competitive way, competition. Somebody's got to lose, right? Somebody's got to lose. So they come in, especially like with me, I'm kind of a student of history. Most of the time, my points are I feel that they're pretty well be able to be made.
That's right. You did your due diligence, and you know what you're talking about. Right.
We forget that we have more of a responsibility in life than just to walk around and be right all the time.
Bottom line.
I always say, show me a person who's right all the time. I'll show you somebody who's single.
Wow. Wow, that's interesting. Now I know you have so do people ultimately bring the family member in and you all share it together, or is it literally up to the patient to share it?
We have our social worker who, if they feel like it's a large household and they should be aware, he will tell the patients to disclose it, or we'll bring them in for a meeting, because you have your elderly, you're living with your grandma, your mother, and you don't want that to go out of the door and then into the neighborhood. So we're trying to nip it in the butt as a clinic.
Wow, that's interesting. In New York, you said New York City is where you are, so that's one of the heaviest populated areas, right, in the country.
In Astoria, you will feel like it's normal restaurant day, because the restaurants, outdoor dining is open.
They can do that at the Capitol. Am I safe? And people wonder, well, what do you say? And I say, but God, because my hope is built on Jesus Christ, period. No matter what comes, no matter what goes, no matter who comes or who goes, it's still Jesus Christ at the end of the day. And so when we're watching this soon to be inauguration, what I pray for this country is that people come back to themselves. This has been like a huge fraternity party for a very long time, a fraternity party gone way, way wrong and south. Come back to yourselves. Your children are watching you. And it's the hand that rocks the cradle. That's kind of how this world will go. So depending on what you're feeding your children, what you're feeding yourselves, that's what's going to be internalized. And I think that we need a detox. And my prayer is that this next 4 years is a huge detox of lies, detox of hatred, a detox of just insensitivity. Everybody has a story. Mike Pence has a story. Donald Trump has a story. And one day there will be a healing where we can hear those stories through ears that are unaffected, to say, you know what? I understand. Even though I don't agree, I understand, and you're still a human being, and treat people with that dignity.
This Jamal knows his stuff about systemic racism and all of that. So I have no idea who is going to win this debate, but we are planning to have 3 judges, not you.
But if I hadn't told you, see, that's how people trick people. But I'm not that person, so I'm not going to trick you. But you're going to have 3 judges.
Yes.
Tell us about the judges.
Right, and they're going to be judged on not necessarily their personal feelings, but on criteria such as originality and presentation and things like that. So we want to keep it unbiased, Kim. So, but we are planning to have the viewer's choice too. So we want viewers, our attendees, to let us know who the person that they feel best presented his or her side of the debate.
Okay, well, make sure you all tune in
Yes.
for the great wealth debate between Dr. Shante Williams and versus Jamal Kennard, and it's going to be a knockout racial wealth gap discussion. And your vote does matter in that situation because you are a part of the viewer's choice. And make sure you be a part of it. So that how do they participate in that?
Well, first you just have to purchase your
water. That might be another way. It's not going to give you a lot of impact. I've tried the elliptical before. I don't know if you've tried that. That's another way to I don't know if that's too compounding on your joints through your car accident, but
I don't know. So
yeah,
I like the swimming thought though.
Yeah, the swimming, that's going to give you your least amount of impact. And I don't swim myself, but from what I've been told, that's one of the best cardio exercise you can do. That's going to give you the least amount of impact on your joints. But I would also say it's a full body workout. But I would also say too, this came up too last night. It's 80% diet and 20% exercise. So in our minds, we always want to equate fitness to losing those extra pounds, but it's really, believe it or not, Dr. Shante, it's going to probably happen for you in the kitchen. Believe it or not, that's probably where you're going to, you're probably going to get that change more or less there, making sure